What's going on, gardeners? On today's 2-minute garden tip, I'm going to show you how to turn milk jugs into greenhouses for tender annuals to get a huge jump start on the growing season. Nothing makes me happier than starting a new garden, and I get so excited for the spring that I can't wait to rush my tender annual seedlings out into the garden. Also, here on the southeastern coast of North Carolina and in other areas of the South, we struggle to grow tomatoes here in the dead of the summer because when it's very hot and humid, tomato pollination often fails. So it serves us best to get our tomatoes out as early as possible so the flowers can pollinate when the weather is cool. This can be a problem because if we plant our tender annuals too early, we can be susceptible to a late frost or freeze that could wipe out our entire crop. I like to plant my tender annuals around my 70% frost date, which means 30% of the years I could face a frost after I plant them. But there are ways around that. I like to take a simple milk jug, cut the bottom out, and if you do that, you can turn these into milk jug greenhouses to protect your tender annuals from frosts and late freezes. Doing this couldn't be any easier. All you have to do is take a clean 1-gallon jug, cut the bottom out, pull any mulch away from your tomato plant or your pepper plant or whatever tender annual you are planting, and just simply place the milk jug container over it and pull the soil or mulch back around the milk jug in order to lock it into place. And this has two distinct advantages. Number one, it will warm up especially well during the day in order to give your tomato plants several more degrees than the ambient temperature to help them grow more quickly. Simply leave the cap off during the day so the heat can vent. Then if you think it's going to be cold during night and there's a chance of frost and freeze, just place the cap back on and that will provide a significant degree of frost protection. These milk jug greenhouses on their own are very effective at protecting against frost. However, they will not protect against a significant freeze if they freeze through. If you think you're going to get a significant freeze, then what you'd want to do is you'd want to pile the mulch, or you'd want to pile something like a bag of compost or something around them, then place something like a Home Depot paint bucket around it. Using a Home Depot bucket and a mulch layer and the greenhouse containers, I successfully protected all of my tomato plants for as cold as 28 degrees. Remember, planting tender annuals early is always at your own risk. There is no 100% way of protecting against frost or freeze. However, if you're willing to take that risk, or if you already planted and you're getting caught by a late frost or freeze, this method will provide you some degree of protection and give you a fighting chance to survive that freeze event. And that's today's 2-minute garden tip. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing and hitting the bell to receive new video notifications, and check out our Amazon storefront and spread shop in the video description for a list of the gardening products I use and awesome custom designed apparel and other gear. Your support is greatly appreciated.